Simmons, and I'm the commander of James Bill Post, American Legion 685. I'd like to welcome all of you to Orange Square Veterans Memorial Park, and thank you for coming to Veterans Day Celebration 2000. It's great to see all of you, especially the young people. It's my extreme pleasure to be your master of ceremonies this morning. With the weather the way it is, we're going to try to keep on schedule and press on and conclude the program with some dignity, but with some expediency also. So please bear with us. Harold Steiger was in charge of the weather this morning, so you can thank him for the little break in the clouds. Next time, Harold, a little bit warmer, please. I'd like to call on Vince Livingston, chaplain of the VFW 7241 naval ship, to give us the invocation.
Good morning. Before we start our program, I wish that you'd all bow your head and have a moment of silent prayer for all our members of the USS Cole who had that unfortunate incident. I'm sure. Almighty Father, Father of us all, we thy servant turn to thee for continuance of thy blessing upon us. Thou who art hath spared our veterans from the grasp of our enemies, grant that us the full understanding of thy precious comfort. We thank thee for the privilege of life and blessing we enjoy through thy graciousness in our country, the land in which we are given the freedom of speech, religion, and the pursuit of happiness. Assist us to know thee better, and that all thou art the God of the universe and our ideals. In thy mercy may we, the living, find our peace. Grant us that above this day the challenge of high endeavor, the beauty of an humble spirit, the strong courage and will, without exertion, to continue to glorify thee, praise thee, and love thee to the end of time. Amen.
Thank you, Vince. At this time, I'd like to call upon Jill Holden to perform America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you, Jill. Beautiful as always. When Jill told me this morning that she was here and ready to perform, I was very happy. She always does an excellent job. I will now lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Port Jervis Band will now play a medley of World War I songs, and the Port Jervis Band is directed by Bruce Hampshire. Thank you, Port Jervis Band. I have an announcement I'd like to make. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. at the Port Jervis Public Library, they will be having a special program, and everyone's invited. They'll have refreshments afterwards. It's dealing with the Port Jervis home front during World War II, and you're all welcome to attend. The last time I did this, it was my first time, and when I got done, I had realized that I had forgotten the benediction. And Harold Steiger, being as gracious as he always is, said, "Don't worry about it, nobody will know." So as soon as I come down off the podium, of course, several members of my post come running over to me and said, "You forgot the benediction, you know." So if you see them throwing something at me during the program, you'll know why. At this time, I'd like to call on Richard Roberts, Orange County legislator, to say a few words.
I'm not quite as tall as Mr. Simmons. Thank you for that introduction, Mr. Simmons. I'd also like to thank Harold Steiger and the Parade Committee for inviting me once again to participate in this program. It's something I do look forward to each year, and I appreciate the invitation. I'd like to say good morning to all the veterans that are assembled here from all the various local organizations. I'd also like to say good morning to your families and friends who are here to support you on this day. And especially to the young people, as we looked at our area school children in the bands from Delaware Valley and Port Jervis. It's especially rewarding, and it's good to see them, as well as to look at the young scouts and the young people that are here, and the younger ones that don't even go to school, that are here with their parents and their grandparents. These young people are the future, and they're the ones that are going to have to keep this day and other days like it going and keep it dear to our hearts and our country. So hopefully we're going to see them for many, many years to come. I was saying to Mike Worden coming up the hill that even though the weather is bad, there are still many people here today. If we look around this park, it is truly full of citizens that are here to again acknowledge the debt paid by our veterans. And it's really very, very good this year that we have a crowd, especially in light of the tragedies and so forth and the tensions that are still going on in the Middle East. And it's good that we do remember the sailors of the USS Cole and the tragedy that occurred, as well as remember their families and friends who are still going through the grieving process, as well as our nation today. And we realize when we have tragedies like that, the value of veterans. And we remember why we're here. And the same with our recent election, which is still, as Mike Gordon and I were saying, very much undecided. Many people are debating our democracy. Many people, the news media and citizens, are talking about elections and results and so forth, and will our democracy withstand this election? I don't think I have any doubt about that. And as I look around and I look at the veterans that are assembled here, I know why our democracy will survive. Because you are the ones that have worked so hard and fought to give us the freedoms and the rights that we have, and to give us the right to vote in the first place. So our democracy will withstand this close election because of people like you. It's also true that throughout U.S. history, Americans have kept a special place of honor in their hearts for our veterans. And for more than 70 years now, we have set aside each November 11th to recognize the men and women who have so valiantly served America. On this day, we remember and we pay tribute to the millions of patriots whose courage and sacrifice have secured our freedoms. From those who suffered the harsh winter at Valley Forge, to those who preserved our Union on the battlefields of Gettysburg, to those who turned back the tide of tyranny on the beaches of Normandy, to those who have kept the peace and defended our values around the globe, and those that continue to do so today. Since the first days of our independence, brave Americans have stepped forward to protect our country and to promote our ideals. Some 48 million men and women from every corner of our country and from every walk of life have served in our nation's armed forces. And 41 million of them have done so under hostile conditions. Their service often put them in harm's way, far from home and family, and too often cost them their lives. Time and again, America has called on her men and women in uniform to protect our national security, to advance our national interests, and to preserve our rights and freedoms. And time and again, our armed forces have responded by overcoming difficult challenges to achieve hard-fought victories, in battles that would determine our nation's destiny, in wars that would decide the fate of the free world, in peacekeeping missions that would change forever the lives and the futures of people fighting oppression. They have persevered. In the face of adversary, they had prevailed. Such victories do not come easily. They exact a heavy toll in lives cut short and human potential unfulfilled. It is a toll paid by 25 million veterans still living among us today, who every day carry with them the memories of sacrifices made, battles fought, and comrades lost. To pay tribute to those who served in our armed forces, our government has provided this day, November 11th of each year, which shall be set aside as a legal holiday to honor America's veterans for all their sacrifices and for the peace, the prosperity, and the liberty their service has secured for us. Our nation and all of us here today owe our veterans a profound debt of gratitude. In commemorating this solemn day, we express our deep appreciation for the duties they have discharged. And I think as we leave here today, one simple thing that we can do, and this is something that the student council president at the middle school, who read a Veterans Day message to our students yesterday, asked our students that on this Veterans Day, honoring a veteran can mean nothing more than a simple acknowledgement and a sincere thank you from one human being to another. So again, thank you all, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. Appreciate it. I'll now call upon the Port Jervis Band to perform the songs of the Armed Forces. again, thank you, Port Jervis Band. It's now my distinct pleasure to call on Joseph Riccardi, Mayor of Matamoros, and also a member of VFW Post 161, to say a few words. Joe?
Thank you, Comrade Simmons. You know, I'm awfully happy and proud to be here today, especially enjoying my good friend, Mayor Michael Warden and Dick Roberts. Always a pleasure to see him. And I see my former mayor out there, or our former mayor, Art Gray. Welcome all. I'm glad to see quite a few people out here. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we have been enjoying peace now for many years, and hopefully for many more years to come. The only unrest the world has is in the Middle East, where the Israelis and the Palestinians cannot come to any kind of a peaceful agreement. Of course, the terrorists are also playing a major role. Milosevic, the murderer, is gone, and the Albanians and the Serbs are managing very nicely to clean up their hatreds and violence. I am inclined to believe that these people are finally leaning towards democracy and peace. In fact, don't forget we have troops overseas who was preserving the peace in Bosnia and Kosovo, and thank God our plan is working. We have to thank the military strategists. Our military today is as strong as ever. Contrary to what some of the politicians are saying, our Secretary of State says, and I quote, "We will never again enter a war without the will to win." And that says it all. These terrorist acts are nothing but cowardly and barbarian acts. They know we love our flag, they know we love our country, and they know we love our children. These terrorists will do anything to degrade our morale. As our Secretary of State says, the terrorist goal is to scare us into abandoning our loves. We will not be intimidated. All glory will fly wherever we have interest to defend. The only outstanding dictator who's defined the peace of the world where terrorism was born is Saddam Hussein. If and when this man is put away, peace and terrorism will be put on a standstill, and the world can work towards stopping these feelings, towards hate, violence, and terrorism. I assure you, if these goals are attained, democracy and peace will reign for many years to come. And I'll end this in conclusion by saying these three words. We've been saying it now for 100 years. We're still here. The Lord is always with us. God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Riccardi. We will now hear a special musical selection by the Delaware Valley Middle School Band, directed by Molly Jones. here on Veterans Day. They do such a nice job. Thank you. I will now call upon R. Michael Warden, Mayor of the City of Port Jervis, to say a few words.
Thank you, Dennis. You know, with the squeaker going on here with the presidential race, Joe Riccardi coming up the parade said, I have a solution to this tie that's going on the national level. And he said, do me a favor. He says, would you call the Bush campaign? He says, I'll get Dick Roberts to call the Gore campaign. He says, just let them know I'm willing to take over the country at any time. And he could probably serve as long as he has at Matamoros, too. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today, and most importantly, for supporting our veterans. And I would also like to thank all of the veterans organizations that are here and their auxiliaries for organizing such a great parade. As we were coming up through the downtown, we could see not the end of the parade yet, which is when you look through the municipal parking lot. In years past, we see the end of the parade. So it was a great parade, a lot of people involved, a lot of young people involved, and you deserve a lot of applause for organizing such a great parade and ceremony. Now, Dwight D. Eisenhower, our Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces during World War II, and our 34th President said, freedom has a life in the hearts, the actions, the spirit of men, and so must be daily earned and refreshed. And he also said, only our individual faith and freedom can keep us free. And as veterans, you have exemplified both this spirit and this faith. And along the way, many have perished in the fight to keep America free. And for those that return to civilian life, they continue to carry on their commitment, serving their country and their communities in a variety of many different ways, conducting programs to teach our young people about Americanism, and also the importance of the sacrifices made by our veterans, so that freedom could be preserved and the American way of life could flourish and prosper. And you have kept that commitment alive by your involvement in the community, providing helps to groups and organizations. Your vigilance is never ending. Our veterans come from diverse backgrounds, and the common thread that bonds them all together is their dedication, their courage, and most importantly, maybe, their love of our great country. These patriots all have the right stuff. The drive and devotion to meet the challenges they face can never be forgotten. Because of you, we are free to worship, and we are free to vote as we choose. And today, probably more than any other point in time, we can realize the importance and power of this freedom, just the freedom to vote alone. John Wesley said in 1748, act as if the whole election depended on your single vote. And this year's election shows how appropriate these words were, spoken over 250 years ago. As we sit here and we wait to see who our next president will be. Freedom, it comes at a high cost, yet all of our veterans were willing to pay the price. Thank you on behalf of our country and our citizens for preserving our rights. Let all present and future generations of Americans remember in their hearts and in their minds these sacrifices that were made. God bless this great country of ours. God bless our veterans, and keep America strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Warden. We will now hear a special musical number by the Port Jervis High School Band, directed by Michael Pacer. rifle squad, composed of VFW Post 161 and Naval Ship 7241, will now perform a rifle salute. It'll be followed by taps, and then Port Jervis High School Band, directed by Michael Pacer, will play the Star Spangled Banner. I would like to again call upon Jill Holden to perform God Bless America. The audience is invited to join in the singing of the second chorus.
Thank you for this honor to be with you today. It is a special, special privilege to stand here to look out and see wonderful citizens of the United States of America, the most blessed country in the world. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home. it's your turn. Please lift up your voices and thank our God for our beautiful land, and thank each other for our wonderful veterans who have given us our freedom and maintained it for us. We love you and thank you. Please join with me. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Jill Holden. And as many of you know, she's the daughter of Reed Holden, a decorated World War II veteran, and she's very proud of her dad, which I'm sure she should be. At this time, I'd like to thank everyone for participating. Port Jervis Police Department, Port Jervis City officials, the Tri-States Naval Ship VFW 7241, their officers and members, their color guard and lady auxiliary, Ruza Fleming Post VFW 161, their officers and members, their color guard and ladies auxiliary, James C's Bill Post American Legion number 685, their officers and members, their color guard and ladies auxiliary, the Vietnam Veterans of America Chapter 140, their officers and members and color guard, the Walter Hughes Chapter 82nd Airborne Division, officers and members and their color guard, Port Jervis Elks Lodge number 645, the Daughters of the American Legion, the Daughters of the American Revolution, Old Mine Road Chapter, the Delaware Valley Middle School Band, the Port Jervis High School Band, the Port Jervis Band, the Port Jervis Boy Scouts of America, Troops 68 and 77, Cub Scout Pack 153 and 77, Port Jervis Volunteer Ambulance Corps, and Sharon Siegel and the Port Jervis Access 8, and Sharon, the program will be televised
right after the ceremony.
right after the program, and it'll probably be going on continually throughout the evening. I'd also like to thank the parade co-chairman, Harold Steiger from VFW Post 161, Vincent Livingston from the VFW Post 7241, and Dennis Simmons from the American Legion Post 685. At this time, I'd like to call on Joseph Colombo, the chaplain from VFW Post 161, to give the benediction.
Welcome to our annual or yearly Veterans Day. Let us bow our heads. Our Heavenly Father, we ask of you to dismiss us with the blessings and grant that we may continually experience the calmness and serenity of heart and soul, which comes from thee. Make us all useful servants of thine in all things. Amen. And as I say every year, we hope to see you all again next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming and participating. This concludes our program. Veterans may return to quarters. Refreshments will be available for participants at VFW Post 161 and Naval Ship 7241. Thank you, and again, hope to see you next year. God bless America.